Hey, you're here with Ben Askren, co-founder of Askren Wrestling Academy. I was looking for a Big Ten preview because we got over 100 people from our academy systems going to the Big Tens in Madison this week, and I couldn't find a good preview. So I said, hey, what the heck? Let's put one together myself. So what I'm going to do is run down the Big Ten tournament, and this really is probably the toughest Big Ten tournament in a long time. Some of these weights are just absolutely ridiculous. You got two-time national champ Tony Nelson seated fifth at heavyweight. It's just ridiculous when you think about how deep some of these weights are. So I'm going to give you a weight-by-weight preview of what's going to go down in Madison this weekend. If you are anywhere in the area, if you're in Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, and you're not coming to the Big Ten Championships, you're a damn fool. So here we go. 125 pounds. I think this one, it's fairly clear cut. I think Corey Clark's going to try to throw a wrench in it. But what you got is a national finals rematch. And these guys have been battling back and forth. Obviously, I'm talking about Jesse Delgado of Illinois, Nico Megaludis of Penn State. Megaludis has got his number kind of this year, got him twice. But what I'm calling for, Delgado getting it back. Okay, I think Delgado's going to find his groove here at the Big Tens, take it into nationals, and obviously they're going to have battles with Sean Garrett of Cornell. But I got Jesse Delgado taking first place, Nico Megaludis taking second place, and Corey Clark finished up in third place. I know the Iowa faithful have high hopes for Corey Clark, but I just don't see him getting it done over either of those guys. 133 pounds. I'm calling for an upset here. So going into the season, I thought this weight was all Tony Ramos. I thought he was going undefeated, national title, no big deal. And I do love his honey badger. I really love it, but he's shown some serious chinks in his armor. He's got 2 losses this year. And a guy I think who's been pretty hot, got a hot hand, he was an All-American last year, is David Thorne. I really like the way he's been looking since national duels. I think he's going to come in. He's going to pull a big upset. I got him over Tony Ramos in the finals, and that means Tyler Graff's going to slide all the way down to third. Obviously, he's going to be in his hometown, Madison, Wisconsin. He's going to have the home crowd behind him, but I just don't see him getting over the hump and winning this one. I know he's been in the finals before. I know he's three-time All-American already, but I see David Thorne staying hot, winning at 133 pounds, getting the Gophers kicked off with the title. 141 pounds. I would say, there's a couple good weights, but if there's one match people are looking forward to this weekend, one match, it is the Zane Train versus Logan Stieber. And these guys met earlier this year. Obviously, we all watched the match on Big Ten Network. And Rutherford did what he's been doing to people all year. He got on top. He was like glue on Stieber, and he rode him out. And that was really what got him the win there. So what I'm calling for is these guys meeting in the finals. Everyone knows it's going to happen. Everyone's looking forward to it. I got Stieber getting revenge. I think he was maybe a little too relaxed, a little too calm in the first match. He got that first takedown, kind of cut him kind of easy after he got called for the potentially dangerous. I think he's not going to let points come by as easy. I don't think Rutherford's offense is up to par to keep up with what Logan's got in store for him. So I'm calling that Logan's going to get some revenge. Rutherford's going to take second. I'm calling, it's going to be a fairly dominant win. I'm calling 5 or 6 points for Stieber. And then we got Nick Dardanes finishing up in third place for Minnesota. 149 pounds. This is, it's one of those weights that it's not like there's bad guys because we got multiple All-Americans this weight, but it's not like some of these weights where we got all kinds of national champs sitting around. So I get to brag on an alumni of my high school, Arrowhead High School in Heartland, Wisconsin. We got Jake Soufflone. He's bringing the #1 seed into this tournament. He was in the finals last year, lost to Dylan Ness. This year he will not be denied. He's going to get revenge over the Gophers. He's going to take out Chris Dardanes in the finals, 149 pounds, and take home a first Big Ten title ever to Arrowhead, Wisconsin. 157 pounds. So we talked about Zane Rutherford versus Logan Stieber. If that was the one match everyone wants to see, I think this and heavyweight are the weights people want to see. I mean, 157 pounds has been just plain insane in the Big Ten. I think honestly, I would not be shocked if the Big Ten got 6 or 7 out of the 8 All-Americans at the NCAA tournament in Oklahoma City. I mean, when you just go down, not only, obviously you got the national champ in Derek St. John, but just the amount of guys that could threaten the podium in Oklahoma City, it's ridiculous. So man, this was a tough one for me. And obviously you got Peyton Walsh, Indiana. He's been pinning everyone this year. He's kind of got slowed down. Big Ten competition. You got Dylan Alton. He's taken third at the NCAA tournament. He's had obviously come back from injury. He's had a rough season. And the guy I'm going to go with to win this one is one of my favorite wrestlers in the whole NCAA right now, Dylan Ness. He's hot. He is hot right now, and he's a hot and cold wrestler. And when he's hot, you go with the hot hand. Okay, so I got Dylan Ness pulling out all the stops, getting the win. Isaac Jordan, who's been coming on really strong. He got the wins over Derek St. John, James Green. He's coming on strong. He's going to be able to make the finals, but he will not be able to overcome what is Dylan Ness. If you've never wrestled with Dylan Ness, he is a hard man to beat because he has so many tricks for you, and you just can't say, I've seen him. You got to feel him, okay? So until you've been out there with Dylan Ness, you don't know what's coming. And Isaac Jordan hasn't been out there with him this year, so I'm calling for Dylan Ness beat Isaac Jordan in the finals. This means you're going to have returning national champ, three-time All-American, Derek St. John, sitting down there in third place, and you're going to have the guy who's been sitting at number one all season, James Green, sitting in fourth place. Now that's a tough bracket right there. Dylan Ness, going to stay hot, going to get the title. That's number 2 for the Gophers. Kicking off the second half of the weights, 165 pounds. Guys, we only got one person to talk about it. You know it. I know it. The Magic Man sure as heck knows it. He's going to win. It's really only a matter of how bad he's going to beat everyone else. Is he going to pin him? Is he going to major him? Is he going to tech him? No one's holding him to less than bonus points in this tournament. So David Taylor has been amazing. Not only this year, he's been amazing the last 4 years. I mean, if you can't appreciate what this guy does on the mat, you don't understand wrestling. David Taylor is going to walk into Madison. He's going to hammer everyone. He's going to go home with the title. He's going to go to Oklahoma City. He's going to hammer everyone there. He's going to get the Hodge Trophy for the second time. So 165 pounds. It's all about the Magic Man. He's going to be putting on a show in Madison. He will be worth the price of admission just by himself. 174 pounds. This is another one of those weights where you got a lot of people who are really even, and they're all really good. The top 4 guys, I think you throw them in a round, a little Sunday Pee Wee tournament round robin. I think you come out with a different winner every single week. So the top 4 are Logan Storley, Robert Kokish, Mike Evans, and Matt Brown. Okay, we got everyone in that crew is an All-American, and every one of them could beat the other one on any given day. You don't know who's coming on top. So I might as well have just drawn names out of a hat for this weight, but I got Storley beating Matt Brown in the finals. Obviously, he beat him in the dual meet. Matt Brown has beaten Logan Storley before. I think we're going to see Matt Brown try to press the action a little more than he did the last time. And when he presses the action, I think that's where Logan Storley is going to capitalize. And we saw him capitalize big in Minnesota. I think he only needs to capitalize once to win this match. I think that's what he's going to do. Then I think we got Robert Kokish beating out Mike Evans for third place. And if you're keeping tally, that's 3 titles for the Gophers right now, as they're trying. I know they're going to try to make a run for this team race against Penn State. 184 pounds. This is on one of those weights where it's really one guy's weight. It's Ed Roost's weight. Kevin Steinhaus, I think, to me, is a clear number 2. Ed Ruth has never lost to Kevin Steinhaus. I don't really see that changing this weekend in Madison. Obviously, I was shocked when he lost to Gabe Dean. I know how good Gabe Dean is for a freshman, but as good as Ed Ruth has been the last 3 years, this being senior year, he only lost 2 matches his first 3 years. And if you would have said, I'll bet you $5,000 Ed Ruth loses this year, I would have bet you $5,000, and I would have had to pay up on that one. So I was shocked by that loss. I think that kind of woke Ed Ruth up a little bit. And I don't really see anyone coming very close to him. I think he's going to beat Kevin Steinhaus fairly handily in the finals this weekend. 197 pounds. And, I don't want to say weak weight, but when you consider some of the other weights, this is one of the lesser weights in the whole tournament. You got a couple guys returning All-Americans. Morgan McIntosh, was one of the better guys. Hasn't been an All-American yet, but he's been challenging for the number 1 spot all year. And I think Morgan McIntosh can get in the finals. I think he's going to wrestle Nick Heflin in the finals. Heflin's been pretty hot lately. Obviously, he was an All-American the last 2 years, but at 174 pounds, He's went up, he ate his Wheaties, ate a few cheeseburgers, beefed up, 197. And I think he's going to pull it out over Morgan McIntosh this weekend. Okay, heavyweight. This is another one of those. I mean, this might be the toughest weight I've ever seen in a conference tournament. And, I'll give you. I've only been around watching colleges for about 15 years, but I really can't imagine anything tougher than this. We got two-time defending national champ Tony Nelson all the way down at the 5 seed, and I think realistically you could see seven of the All-Americans in Oklahoma City be from the Big Ten. I mean, I really think that's a realistic. So obviously, we got Mike McClure, Michigan State. We got Connor Medbury from Wisconsin. Got Tony Nelson, two-time national champ from Minnesota. We got Adam Kuhn from Michigan. We got Mike McMullen from Northwestern. We got Adam Chalfant from Indiana. We got Bobby Telfer from Iowa. I mean, all these guys are legitimate threats at All-American. There's not a joke in that whole handful of guys. So the heavyweight division, I mean, we're going to see some battles this week in Madison. I think is another one of those weights where you could say, let's pick a name out of a hat, and you're going to be, just as likely to get the winner as I am. So out of all those guys, I got Mike McMullen, Northwestern, beating Tony Nelson in the finals. This is obviously a rematch of last year's NCAA finals. I really like the way Mike McMullen's been wrestling this year. He's super athletic. He's well versed in all three positions. Nelson, people are kind of figuring out his game. He doesn't really do a whole lot of offense. He's tough on top, good on bottom, very simple, if you'd say, on his feet. I think McMullen, at this is his time, he's going to get him. And then we got the freshman upstart, Adam Kuhn, finishing down there in third place. But, let me repeat, that weight could go anyway. Okay, team race. Obviously, I think we got, 3 teams who can really challenge. You got 3-time defending national champs Penn State. You got Minnesota, and you have Iowa. So, Penn State smashed Iowa in a duel. And then, Minnesota got that upset over Penn State. It just barely, but they did get it done. In this one, though, I know I picked 3 Gophers winning it, but I see the bonus points as a difference. Minnesota doesn't wrestle that wide open style. I mean, Penn State does have Ed Ruth and David Taylor, and those are kind of, 2 once-in-a-generation type wrestlers that are somehow on the same team at the same time, and they're going to rack up between the two of them somewhere between 15 and 20 bonus points. So obviously I see them putting points on the board. They're having really high placers at 4 or 5 other weights. And that's going to be enough to get them the title over Minnesota. Minnesota is going to have to really do some work to catch up. And Iowa would have to really, I think, have the tournament of a lifetime to come in and beat both Minnesota and Penn State in the same weekend. I just don't see it happening. You never know. It is Iowa. They have the great tradition and history. But I see Penn State first, Minnesota second, Iowa down there in third place. Okay, guys, thank you for watching my 2014 Big Ten preview. I'm going to be in Madison this weekend. I'm super pumped. I've actually never been to a Big Ten championships. Obviously, I was in the Big 12, and when I was there, the Big 12 was the #1 conference in the country, no doubt. Now, Big Ten is #1 by a long shot. It's not even close. This is like a main national tournament. Like I said, if you are anywhere close, you better not miss this weekend. It's going to be awesome. We, not only the best wrestlers, but they got some legends. Some of these guys that are wrestling today are going to be legends of the sport, where in 30 years you want to tell your kids you saw David Taylor or Ed Ruth or Logan Stieber or these other guys wrestle the Big Ten championships in Madison. Appreciate you guys watching. You can follow me on Twitter at Ben Askren. Or if you want to check out my website, it's awawisconsin.com. You can follow us for camps, academy. We got all kinds of stuff. Appreciate you watching.